Have you ever had a perfect day? Have you ever had a perfect day? I literally, not gonna lie, I had the most perfect day of my life last Saturday for the Leicester Comedy Festival. Okay. Okay, picture it. I'm lying in bed, in my little tiny bed the night before, and I see on Instagram that there is a Wales National Opera, Welsh National Opera sale. And I say, I'm gonna go to that fucking costume sale. And so the following morning, Saturday morning, I get up. Like, no, I don't know, 10. I have a leisurely breakfast because it doesn't open until the public until 11. I have a leisurely breakfast. I cycle down the bay. As I'm cycling down the bay, I get a little song stuck in my head and I'm having a silly little goofy time. And so as I'm cycling down the bay, I get West End Girl by Lily Allen stuck in my head, but what if all of the words were soup? So I'm like, I walked up the soup and put the key in the soup, and then my phone started souping, so I answered the soup. And they were like, hey, you got the lead in a soup. You've got to be back in soup, done in rehearsals and soup. And I thought, so later that evening, he said, how was your soup? I said, I've got some soup news. I got the lead in a soup. That's when your soup meaner started to change. You said I'd have to soup dish, and I said, you're deranged. And I thought that was quite soup. I found that soup. Anyway, I had that sticker. I was cycling down pouring rain, having the time of my life. Like, I'm going to a little costume sale. I did get Fierce Drag Jewels. Fierce Drag Jewels. I wore this to the show on Saturday night, and I realized I put it on, and then I looked in the mirror, and I was like, oh, one of these is missing. That's why they were getting rid of it. And so I had to like snap off the other side in a blind panic. I just sort of snapped it and I went, okay, I'm ready. Let's go. Let's go. I don't know if it was fully intact when I bought it or if I just like didn't notice, but I think it was like 10 pounds. I think, or it was like, what was it? It was purple. I think it might have been no, I think it was 10. Let's hope it was 10. Let's hope I didn't overpay for this. Let's hope my Fierce Drag Jewels were not Fierce Drag misstead. Anyway, so I get to Wales Millennium Centre. There's a huge queue. I go stand in queue. I start yapping to the people behind me because I'm always trying to make a friend. I do have that disease. So we're yapping away. We're having a good time. The girl in front goes, excuse me, are you Sam Hickman? What? The most famous woman in the world. And I'm like, oh my God, me. It's always nice to meet a fan. We're yapping the whole time. We're having the silliest, goofiest time. We're having a really good time. I'm seeing everyone I know to the point at which my friend Polly comes down the stairs. I point at her and I go, you. And she's like, oh, you're here. Do you want anything? We're ahead of you in the queue. And I was like, well, if you're looking out for things, I'm like texting my man on the inside being like, I'm looking for this. I'm looking for that. If you see anything like that, let me know. So we zigzag, see everybody we know, everybody in town, every gay person went to that costume sale. It was fabulous. We had a great time. So we queued for about an hour and a half. We got in. I was like fast. I think I was 20 minutes in and out. I just said, I'm getting that. What did I get? I got 3 pieces of fabric and Fierce Drag Jewels. I think I spent £50. Not terrible. They just had a bin full of fabric and I was like, okay, well, number one, it's going to be nice fabric. Like it's going to be really nice fabric. And number 2, there's going to be a lot of it. So I got like a navy blue linen cotton thing. Navy blue linen cotton fabric that I think is like maybe 3 meters at a push, maybe 4 meters. I haven't unraveled it because I know once I unravel it, I'm not going to be able to get it back in the box. I'm going to make dungarees for summertime because I made blue linen trousers last year or the year before, and I wore them so much last year. So I just want to make another pair so that I'm not constantly wearing out the crotch of the only nice pair of trousers that I like to wear. And then I also got some green fabric that turned out to be a poly cotton that I'm gonna use for something. It's nice. And then I got a butter yellow, like silky satiny fabric that I just assumed was gonna be a viscose. I was like, this is so much fabric. I got it for £10. It's like 4 meters. It's gotta be a viscose. It's gotta be like something that's like, like a poly. I was like, it's clearly a nicer quality than just a polyester but like it's got to be a viscose. And then I came home and I did a burn test. For those of you who don't know, different fabric burns different ways because of the fibers in it. So a natural fiber will burn like a natural fiber, a plastic fiber will melt and kind of bead. Different fibers burn different ways. For example, cotton, because it is like it's like a I don't know, a plant, it will burn like a plant. Silk and wool burn like hair burns. So if you've ever like singed your hair on a candle, that's exactly how silk and wool react to it as well, because they're natural fibers that are derived from animal products. This turned out to be 4 meters of incredibly high quality satin silk, like 100% silk, satin, like thick, beautiful fabric. I have made a gorgeous little dress to wear to a wedding next week or in 2 weeks. I also made a tie for my boyfriend who's coming with me to the wedding. Ah! I know, big day for me. Yeah, it's in my mind, okay, in my mind, I got this fabric and I was like, okay, if I don't do something with it immediately, it's getting put in the stash. I'm not going to look at it for like 2 years. Every time I look at it, I'm going to think, oh, I should do something with that. Oh, but I don't know what to do. So I just thought, okay, I'm going to make something that is just two big rectangles sewn together. And then when I finally decide, okay, this is what I want to make with this, I just take apart the rectangles. Easy peasy. And so it's like, it's like 1.5 meters each way of rectangles. And it's the entire selvage, like the entire width of the fabric, just sort of condensed down into a dress. And I think it's fabulous. I had a bit of an issue last night because I wanted to put an ostrich trim along the hem, and I started sewing it by the machine, and then I realized that it had so much adhesive on the bias trim, like the thing holding all of the trim together, that I couldn't do it by the machine, and I had to hand sew it. And I had 9 meters of this ostrich feather trim, very wispy trim. I will say that, very wispy trim, but I had to like hand sew it. And so I kept like sewing it for like the length of thread that I have. I'd run out of thread, and then I'd have to get my hand sanitizer out and just sort of de-gunk the needle so that it wasn't covered in. Anyway, this is a long story. This is a long, boring story. I got it done. I'm wearing it to a wedding in next week, or the week after, which is going to be really fun. Long story short, so I get that silk. I'm like, this is the greatest day of my life already. Now I have to drive to Leicester. And so I drive from Cardiff to Leicester. The show isn't until 9 p.m., which I think is a real, like, oof, I love an evening show sometimes. I love an evening show that isn't in London. I think everywhere else where it's like, oh, here's an evening show, it's nice. It's just, you get all of the day, and then you just have to turn up at about 7 p.m., and you're fine. Like, that's it. It's like a really silly time. So the only thing that I was scared about doing this venue, it was just the Tonic Leicester. It was Peter Pizzeria. It's like their upstairs room. They have like a little like a little performance space. The only thing that I was worried about was the stairs, because they were like, oh, it's 3 flights of stairs. And I thought, shit. And so I got my friend Melon, shout out to friend of the pod. She's been on the pod. I got my friend Melon to come and help me get the harp up the stairs, which was really nice. It turned out to be way less dramatic than I anticipated, because it was like wide Victorian staircase. It was like grand staircase, very like nice steps, easy to get up, easy peasy. Out the front of the building was a little bit stressful, but we got there eventually. It was fine. But yeah, we got up, we got into the building, we got into the green room. I met the tech, and I was like, oh, this is the tech. Me and the tech didn't get on particularly well, but that's not the most important thing that happened today. Anyway, so we get in, we're all set, everything's in the green room, I'm done. My friend is like, oh, let's go for dinner, let's go get some food. It's 7 p.m. You don't have to be back until 8:30. We'll just go, we'll get some food, it'll be fun. Silly. We go to this restaurant. It takes them 45 minutes to bring the food. My friend is not happy about it. She gets like quite hangry about it. Very fair. It was like a takeaway place as well, with like, it was like a takeaway Greek place with sit down, and we were like, okay, this isn't going to take too long, this will be quick, easy peasy. We didn't order like anything particularly outrageous, but they took 45 minutes, and she's there like dying, and I'm there just starting my makeup because I'm like, I don't know if they'll come out on time, but I'm incredibly relaxed. Like it is like I am so relaxed for like all of this. And she keeps looking at me. She's like, how are you so relaxed? You're usually quite stressed before a show. Like you're usually like, panicking or whatever. And I was like, well, we got it up the stairs. That was all. That was the only thing that I was worried about was like traffic getting to Leicester and the stairs, and there was no traffic, and we did the stairs in one go, and it wasn't particularly hazardous or outrageous. Anyway, so food finally arrives. It's fabulous. It's fantastic. I have, a little bit of lamb, some chips, a little hummus. It's a nice restaurant. It's a nice restaurant. It just took them a really long time to feed us. So I go back. I get all glammed up. I do the show. It is. I'm going to say this, and I know it's going to sound like a lunatic saying it, but if I do not get nominated for an award at Leicester Comedy Festival, I'm eligible for 4 different awards. If I am not at least nominated, I will be genuinely quite surprised because I do think it was the best show of my life. Well, not the best show of my life, but I do think it was the best show that I have done in a very long time. I just do believe that it was really good. Everybody was having a really good time. The show kind of came together in my mind. Okay. And I know this is like in service of the art part 2, but in my mind, I have been trying to birth this show for the last 2 years. I've been like, it's been gestating, it's not been coming. And I do feel like at Leicester Comedy Festival, the show was born. It's still a little tiny baby. It's still a little tiny baby of a show, but it was born. It is out in the world. And I do think that is like good. That is good. And someone from the awards panel was in the audience, and I did see them, and they were next to somebody who would later go on to post on their Instagram story that it was a fucking incredible show. So, clearly the person next to them was having a nice time. Hopefully they'll be like, yeah, Sam Hickman, she's worthy and deserving of awards and accolades. We'll see. I would like that. It's on my it's on my vision board, my manifestation board for 2026 to win at least one award, or at least get nominated for an award. So if we could knock that out in Feb, if we could knock that out in Feb, then all I have to do is lose a bunch of weight so that I get accused of going on a Ozempic and get on a TV panel show. Which, the way we're going, it could happen. You never know. You never know. When they're like summer bodies are made in winter, good careers are made in the middle of winter. Good careers are made over springtime. Anyway. Yeah, I did the show, really silly. We went for like mum's drinks. Mum's on the Towns drink, which was really fun and silly. We went to like a couple of bars. We went to a couple of bars. It was very, very fun. It was very silly. I'm not going to tell you everything that happened because it was okay. At one point, I'll tell you this because it was quite funny and we all really enjoyed it. At one point, there were 3 of us. And we were looking out the window of this one bar, and there was this couple arguing. Like one of the girls was like, "What are they arguing about? Like, what do you think do you think they're like gonna make love? Do you think they're like furious at each other? What do you think it is?" And one of the girls was like, "Well, I can just go have a cigarette next to them and over listen." And we were like, yes, and tell us what it is through the window. So she goes out, she lights a cigarette, she sits next to this couple, and then she like comes up to the window and makes a face at us, and we're like, it's all happening. It was incredible. It was so funny. And then she came in, she was like, well, they weren't speaking English, so I didn't actually know what they were saying, but I got the vibe. It was great. We had a really fun time. We ended up at the last bar we went to. Was Cozy Club, Leicester Cozy Club, classic. It was like nice and quiet. And we walk in, and the guy behind like the please wait to be seated thing is having an ice cream. And I just go, oh, there's ice cream here? And he goes, we can get you some ice cream. The kitchen's closed, but I can get you some ice cream. And I was like, this is the greatest day of my life. So I had like a little ginger beer and a little ice cream. And it was just, shout out to Bradley at Cozy Club Leicester for fixing that, because that was fabulous. That was like the best day of it was like the best day of my life. And then I had like a little chat with my boyfriend in bed. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Yeah, it's going great. Actually, that was like the dream day for me. I had a wonderful time. Everybody enjoyed things. There was nothing that was like completely that like didn't go well or anything. There's bits and pieces of the show that I want to just tweak and I want to just go back over, and I have footage of all 3 shows from the Cardiff show. I'm not counting the London show in August because it was only half written then, and I think it's found a lot more direction as it's gone on. And I think literally, so I did the Bristol show and I was like, okay, the end of the show is bad. The end of the show really needs to like, it needs to hammer home. It needs to say something. It needs to have a point. It needs to have a purpose. It needs to be like, you know, it needs to be the thesis statement of the entire piece. It needs to be the message that people go away with. What the fuck am I doing? And so I was thinking, I was like really panicking because I was like, I don't like what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. And so I was workshopping it for like a good couple of weeks in prep for Leicester. And I was like, this is not coming together. I don't know what it's doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what this is. Help, 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 help. And then the night before, I was like, oh, that's what this is. You know, when you do your little pacing, I don't know if other performers, artists, whatever do this, but I like to do this thing where I talk into my hairbrush and I pace around kind of running the show, but like just sort of let my mind wander while I'm doing the show as if I'm like doing the show. But it's like I have all night and I don't need to be anywhere and everything is fine and the audience loves me and has a really good time. And I was doing that and I kind of like went, oh, okay, this is what you need to do. And so I wrote down the notes of what it was, and then over FaceTime I did it to the man I'm seeing, and he was like, yeah, that's much better than Bristol. That's really got something. And I was like, okay, we'll do that. And I think it turned out really well. I think it needs tweaking and just a little bit more of like writing. But I think it was fun, and I think we're like really getting somewhere with it, you know? Like it's still a baby, but it, you know, by the time we get to, hopefully, if not the London show in 2 weeks, then the Glasgow show at the end of March, we'll have like, okay, this is what this show is. This is what we're doing here. This is what this is. Yeah, a really good time. I am having fun. I'm having a good time. I hate sending press. Press, having to do press, having to like type up little press releases, little like features, little pitches for things. Absolutely horrible. Hate it. Terrible. Not having fun with that. Having to promote a show, again, not my favorite thing to do, but I think this time I'm much more chill about it. This time people keep showing up to things. I think it's one of those like your reputation precedes you situations where I'm like, oh yeah, nice people have said nice things about me. Big people have said nice things about me. If that continues, the shows can basically start selling themselves. Like I don't need to be doing like a hard graft every single time I do anything. It can just be like, here's a fun, silly fun. Everything's gonna be easy. Nothing's gonna be bad. We're gonna have a good time. So yeah, I'm looking forward to feeling more established in my career. I think that's a nice way of putting it. I think that's a nice way of like, I know I'm good. Now everybody else knows I'm all right. They'll come to stuff. And that's good. I think that's really good. Little sip of tea. Okay. What else did I have to say? I wore a new costume. Love that new costume. I am wearing it again on the 20th of February at WMC Cabaret. I'm off the cabaret space. Can I tell you this? I'm off the cabaret space. They've taken my little beautiful face, the big picture of me off the side of the cabaret space, and I don't know what I'm gonna do when I'm a little blue and I need cheering up. I'm not gonna be able to just wander over to Wales Millennium Centre and look at myself, look at the shrine to me. So if anyone would like to put a big old poster or mural of my face somewhere in the city, please let me know, because I'm willing to pose. I'm willing to part fund it, I guess. I don't know. What do you need for these things? Anyway, what do you think Gweno did? Because she's on the side of Club Forbach and it's been years. So like, how do I do that for me? How do I do that for me? How do I become Sam Hickman's side of the building again? I miss it so much. I'm so silly. Anyway, I feel like I haven't had a good night's sleep in weeks. I am very tired. I am, yeah, it's still winter. It's still raining all the time. I meant to put on a different lipstick and I forgot. So we're going to have to do this whole episode again. But Anyway, thank you so much. This is just a quick little one. This is just a quick little one to say that I had a fabulous time at Leicester Comedy Festival. I think the show is like, because I was, after the Bristol show, I was like, this show is terrible. This show is garbage. I am bad. Everything is bad. Nothing good is going to happen. Everything terrible, terrible, terrible all the time. And then I did the Leicester show and I was like, I am an unstoppable force of nature. I'm such like a temperamental little artist. I'm like the smart car of artists. I don't know cars, but imagine a temperamental car. I'm like the Reliant Robin of cars of people. I'm like the Audi of yeah, you always see an Audi on the side of a motorway, don't you? You just always see them. You just always see them. I'm very temperamental, but I was having a really nice time. I was having a really. It was a beautiful acoustic. It was a beautiful acoustic. Yeah, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 will be doing Leicester Comedy Festival again next year because I had the time of my life. And yeah, this has been an episode of Hyperlocal Celebrity. Thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe to the Substack if you haven't. If you are a Cardiff-based babe, I am coming to Cardiff on the 12th of June. If you are anywhere else, please do check the Substack for tour dates. London in 2 weeks on the 7th of March, Glasgow on the 27th of March. Where is Brighton on the 21st of May? Droitwich Spa on the 5th or the 6th of June, I'm not sure, but tickets are coming out for that soon. And then and then Cardiff on the 12th of June. And we're hoping to organize a crash. We're hoping to organize a crash for the 12th of June show. I am really excited. I'm really looking forward to being able to do that. I think it's fun. I think it goes with the theme of the show. I think it'll, like, so many people have come up to me and been like, oh, that sounds great. If I can get childcare, I can come. And I just want to be able to be like, there's childcare. Like, because I know so many people who have kids now that it's like, you can totally just bring, like, you can drop them off in the foyer, pick them up after the show, easy peasy. Have fun. So we're trying to organize that. I think we'll be fine. I think we'll have a good time. I think we'll maybe get funding for it. I don't know. And we'll find out. But yeah, really excited about that. I think that's going to add another level of accessibility to the show, which I think is really important. I think good. It's good. I'm enjoying my office still being black. It's fabulous. I love it in here. I'm going to sign off. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye, everybody.